Hey guys, it's me, Erica Joy, with the Erica Joy Effect, and I'm so thrilled to have a new guest here with us today. Please welcome with me Nicole Lemieux, who is a real estate agent here in Charleston. So welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So glad that you're here and happy to connect.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about what brought you to Charleston.
So I went to Coastal Carolina, which is, it's about 2.5 hours over in Myrtle Beach.
Okay.
And then I moved here to be a teacher right out of college.
I was a teacher. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I was a teacher for a year in Johns Island.
What? Oh, interesting.
Yeah, no,
what was
terrible.
your subject or age of
So
children?
I did middle school math.
I did middle school history.
Okay.
Interesting. Math, I could see that
Yeah.
in being correlating with real estate.
Yeah, no, I was terrible with numbers. It was just the easiest job to get coming straight out of school.
Wow. So 1 year, and it was
Yep.
different than you imagined.
Yes, it was absolutely terrible. Those kids were so mean to me, and I almost quit halfway through.
Oh my gosh.
And I already knew that I wanted to get into real estate in some capacity, but this was just a filler job to get me through moving here.
Okay.
And I had the job way before I even finished college. So
Wow.
it was a dream, especially getting into the Charleston area.
Sure.
So as soon as I got into the real estate licensing thing, I just immediately was like, all right, this is my last year here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you want to be a teacher growing up? Like, had a-
No, I originally went to school for communication and wanted to do something in New York City or
wow.
a big city and do something like maybe a talk show host. Wanted to do something like that. And then when I was in school, I heard that that was really hard to break into and just immediately was like, I need to switch into something safe because I was looking at all the loans I was racking up.
Yes.
And was like, I just need something that is paycheck, and I could work my way up and retire with a good pension and
Yeah.
all that stuff. So it was more like the safe route.
And then you jumped into real estate and
Yes.
hit the ground running.
Yeah, so as soon as that school year was over, I went ahead and got my real estate license. It took me a little longer than most people because I was teaching, and then I also was doing personal training on the side.
Oh, wow.
So I had my own business with that too.
Wow,
So
I
was-
didn't know that.
Yeah, so I was really trying to just break into an entrepreneur role and quickly found out that the personal training world was just not for me because it was very, you had to sell like high ticket courses and it just felt super scammy to me.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I didn't want to go to a gym and actually sit there all day and train people. I wanted to kind of do like it online, and I just had this entrepreneur mindset about
Yes.
it, and it just wasn't, I didn't have the capital to do it. And so that's kind of when I was like, okay, if I get into real estate, I can use someone else's capital
Right.
to break in and to get myself going.
That's smart.
And so, yeah, I got licensed September of 2023.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Not too long ago, but
No,
an
not that
interesting. You've had an interesting couple of years.
Yes.
In the real estate world.
Yes, it's been crazy.
So when you were young and you pictured yourself as an adult, where did you think you would be? What did you envision?
That's a really good question. I always wanted to have some sort of high-level role somewhere. I really loved sports growing up, so that's kind of where that communication idea came from. I also loved to read and write, and I honestly just thought that I would do something like that, like maybe be a writer. But then as you grow up, you kind of realize that that might not be something totally sustainable,
Yes.
especially as I was going into college and, like I said, racking up all this debt. I really wanted something where I could make a lot of money and not sit at a desk from 9 to 5 because I never really envisioned myself sitting at a desk.
It's interesting that you went the safe route with the pension and the idea of the education system, or what it used to be maybe. But real estate is really 100% commission,
Yes.
which is the opposite of that.
Yeah.
Tell me about that change for you, and how have you not been in panic mode if you've been in a little bit of a drought, or have you even faced that?
Yeah, so when I first started, it was the scariest thing ever. And I remember the day that I put my notice in that I wasn't going to come back and teach that next year. I had a deadline of 12 p.m. on like a Wednesday, and I immediately Thursday went to the school and begged for my job back.
No way.
And I remember sitting in the office with whoever she was in charge of hiring, and she was like, we just hired someone else for your role.
Oh my
And so
gosh.
they went back to the district and tried to find some sort of job for me to get in, just so I had a position there the next year, and they couldn't fit me in. They didn't have enough credits, and I remember just like panicking.
Wow.
So I really didn't know it at the time, but it was a blessing in disguise that I was able to not go back to teaching.
Yeah.
And then I just remember being like, well, this is the closest thing I have to a job right now. I have to dive in and I have to succeed. I really didn't have an option not to.
Yeah. That is brave.
Yes.
Unintentionally brave.
Yes,
But,
and I'm very type A about things, and so I still struggle with the fact that I don't have a paycheck coming in every 2 weeks.
Yes.
But you kind of just get over that because the sky's the limit with real estate.
That is so true.
Yeah.
And you really have found success in just, 2.5 years now in this business. I definitely have seen some of your Instagram feeds and noticed that you're killing it.
Yeah.
So what's the secret? What's the secret sauce? What would you tell other young women or men who are interested in getting into real estate?
Yeah, so I wish I had the answers because I'm still learning. I'm speaking on a panel with some agents who are really big names in Charleston next week.
Ooh, really? How did that come about?
I just was asked. It's like a top producer. They asked me to speak with them.
Very
and
nice.
We had a Zoom meeting the other day about how I can, like, what we're going to be talking about.
Yeah.
And I was writing things down about, like, what questions I had for those ladies.
Yes.
Because I do want to always learn. I don't want to get into this position where I think that I know everything.
Absolutely.
And start to lose that spark. Like every single day I'm waking up and prospecting. I'm very humble about everything. I always think there's a client I could have gotten that I lost. Like there's always things that I think I could be doing.
Yeah.
So that's why, like on the outside, it looks like, yes, I'm very successful and I'm so blessed that I'm even in this position.
Sure.
But at the same time, like there are things that I could be doing to level up and get to that $30 million in sales volume.
Yeah.
Like, so there definitely are things that I'm still learning.
Have you always been a little bit critical of yourself?
Yes, for sure. I'm definitely a perfectionist. I remember 2 months ago, I had taken time out of my vacation. I was away. I was out of the country.
Oh, wow.
And I had taken a phone call from a girl who had reached out to me on Instagram. She found my Instagram. She messaged me on my website, and I set up a call. And so when I got back into town, I had shown her houses.
Oh, wow.
And I met with her and her boyfriend and, really connected with them. And then out of the blue, she sent me an email. And she was like, hey, I really appreciate all the help you've done. But we, at the same time, we were also looking with another agent. And we've decided to go with her. And we're not even going to get into all the legality of how this is wrong. But
Yeah. Wow, that was a shock.
it was the most hard. Like, I've cried over things and like gotten emotional. But that was such a crazy experience to like know that I had a connection with these people and like do everything right and then to be backstabbed like that.
Yeah.
And so, a lot of the advice that I was trying to give myself is, hey, you don't want those people anyway.
Exactly. Yeah.
They're never
going to
know
know that,
Yeah.
but you don't know that.
Exactly. And like
you'll feel it.
I beat myself up so bad over that one moment.
Wow.
And so there's still like, I'm sure there's agents out there who go through the same thing, sell $50 million a year and still probably get so upset when they lose clients.
Right, when they lose just one.
Yeah.
It's 100% effort for every single person.
Yes.
But it is sad. It's sad when you actually connect and you feel as though you're on the same page with someone and you're just not.
Yeah. To put into all that time with people and then to have them come back and have been looking at houses with another person.
Yes.
And it's not the first time. Like, I've lost listings, and that's the thing that I tell other agents that are newer and coming into it, and I tell even other professions that, people just having conversations with me, like, you're gonna lose people, and you're gonna get fired, and people are gonna be mad at you and critical, and that's just something that, honestly, I don't think I would learn if I wasn't in a career like this.
Yeah. When you have, when you feel that rejection or whatever that feeling is when those things happen, how do you kind of redirect your focus or your energy to keep moving forward? What are some of the things that you not just like, I didn't want them anyway, which is true, but what are some more, in-depth things that you tell yourself to continue on the course or the path that you're setting for yourself?
So like I told you, this isn't the first time it's happened to where I've lost a listing or, I've signed a buyer and I show them 50 houses and they decide not to move here anymore. So I really started to get closer with God in connecting with him and talking about why didn't that work out? And starting to accept that this didn't work out because it wasn't meant for you. And this was preventing you from meeting another client who actually appreciates you.
That's right.
And
a step closer to the yes.
Yes. And so really taking a moment to let myself cry, let myself be human. And then what I do is I reach out to a client who I knew appreciated what I had done.
Wow.
And I remember that was the first time I tried that exercise. So I went for a walk, I called some other agents and told them about the situation, and I ranted and I cried and I was like, what did I do wrong? And
they built you up and were like, nothing, girl.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I texted a sweet couple who had just been they were so upset that the house prices were what they were here and they couldn't find a house that they loved. And I took them to this one neighborhood and they fell in love. And they bought that day and were so grateful that I had even shown them that neighborhood.
Right.
And I texted them just asking how they were. And they were like, we're doing amazing and we love you so much. You're our realtor for life.
That is amazing.
And then immediately I was like, that's who I need to put my energy into.
Absolutely.
And those people are going to continue coming if I can take a step back and realize that that's who I want to work with.
Yeah. I think that's really wise to focus on people who build you up, the positive people in your life. I think it's great that you have a circle of other agents or people that you trust to vent to, because I think that's super important. But then just realizing you have helped so many people, you have connected with so many people. This one couple is not going to change who you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about your spirituality, if you're comfortable with that.
Yeah. So I really didn't start. I always grew up in some sort of church, but I never really felt like it was for me. I always felt that I didn't understand or didn't have a desire to pay attention and just believed what the rest of the world believed. And it wasn't until I realized that I had to I was dirt poor, calling people every day in real estate, that I was like, I really need something to believe in right now, because I remember one month my boyfriend he had been paying our rent for 3 to 4 months, and it was at the point where he was,
strapped.
We were both really young, and we were just like, what do we do? And I was like, I have nothing else to lean on but God, that trusting that, hey, I don't have to go out and get a salary job. Like, I have to make real estate work, because when I got into it, interest rates were at like 7.5, almost 8%. And not even just my family, but the world was telling me that was not a good career to get into at the time.
Right.
And so you have my parents, my family, my friends, and then the world telling you that this job isn't what you're supposed to be doing right now.
Wow.
All that weighing in on you. It's like I had to turn to something else to see if this was for me.
Yeah.
And if I was going to make it.
Mm-hmm. What a fighting spirit.
Yes.
You've always been a bit of a fighter.
Yeah, I've always been smart about things, and I'm not usually that big of a risk taker, but I just know that God was telling me that, you're going to make this work. And I remember I was driving to the office one day, and I don't remember what bridge it was, and I just remember out of the corner of my eye, and it's still there. I still see it. There's these 2 beams that make a cross. Huh. And that day I had scheduled, I'd booked my first $2 million listing appointment.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and I didn't get it, but that guy introduced me to 3 other people in the circle.
Wow.
And that's what made me realize, hey, I can stand out by connecting with these people who are wealthy. And even if I don't get something from them now, there's no telling what could come in 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, you just never know.
Yeah, and that was the day that I was like, all right, I'm not giving up. I'm going to make this work.
Yeah, and from then on, that's what you've done.
Yeah.
It seems like.
Yeah. I think I started September of 2023, and I didn't make a paycheck till late December of 2023. But then from there on out, I don't think I've gone 1 month without one.
Wow.
Yes.
That is awesome.
Yes.
And you think that is based on just reaching out, your openness, making connections, networking.
There's definitely a lot that goes into it. The biggest advice I can tell people on how to break into it is just you have to have the strong personality.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be confident. Even if I don't know something, I'm still acting confident.
Yeah.
And if
Confident
I don't have the
you
answer,
can find the answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm so sorry. I'm going to find you that answer in an hour. Just give me an hour.
Right.
And even if it takes me 2 hours to find it, I'm still communicating that that's my goal for them, is finding that out. And I play it off as, I don't want to tell them the wrong thing.
Of course. Yeah.
And so when I first started, I had no idea. I mean, I didn't even know. There's so many embarrassing stories I could tell. But, there were...
You didn't know what you didn't know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I just faked it and figured it out until I looked around and I had 3 closings and then knew what I was doing.
Yeah. Do you see yourself in any other cities or expanding at any time, or do you think Charleston is your favorite and where you'll be for a long time?
That's a great question. I love Charleston and I would love to stay here. The one thing I do get scared of is if I ever did want to move, that I'm stuck here because my business is here. So I do think about once I'm still newish. I'm still 2 years in. I'd like to get to that point where it's all repeat business because I'm still heavily prospecting, heavy on social media, heavy on canceled, expired listings. So once I kind of get all that repeat business, I think I will get my license in another state and possibly start to
Expand
build a book of business over there.
Yeah. And what about becoming a broker? Do you have any interest in that?
I like the fact that I would have a stable paycheck, but I definitely think that I know that the sky is the limit, and I don't think I would be able to sit back and watch my agent make all this money and have all this flexibility. So I don't know if it's for me.
That's right for you.
What
about a team?
So I do think that I would have some interest in starting a team, and I really want to get into the position where I can teach other young agents what I've done to have success. Because, I mean, on paper, I don't have the skills to make the income that I do or live the life that I do, but it's possible.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so it kind of ties back to that entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Where do you think that spirit came from?
I just don't like the fact that some people get out of college and then go work for someone else. And for my parents, for example, every day for 30 plus years have gone into an office at 9 in the morning and only get certain holidays off and can't take vacations like I can.
Yeah.
And I would watch that and just honestly the world around me, I would just watch that and just wouldn't accept that was going to be my life. And I spent 1 year teaching and I had the summer off and still couldn't stand the fact that if I wanted to go somewhere, I couldn't.
Right.
So
if you wanted to go to the bathroom, you couldn't.
No.
Within the class,
No, exactly.
So it is definitely a different life.
Exactly. And I think the life that it provides is just the most amazing thing ever. Yeah.
That's really neat that you kind of went in a different way that your parents went and that you really value your freedom.
Yes. Yeah.
If you were to define success today, how would you define it? And how has that vision of what is successful changed over the course of time?
I think I used to value success with money and how much money you were producing. And the first year of real estate was so hard. I don't remember looking up. My first full year, I just head down. And I do think that has something to do with why I've been able to keep that success up. But it was, I looked up in December and looked around and was like, I took one vacation and I was on the phone the whole time.
Wow.
I wasn't going out to drinks with my friends. I wasn't going on walks. I wasn't taking care of myself like I used to.
Yeah.
And so, but it didn't matter because I thought I was successful.
So you're making a lot of money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then this year, I actually stepped back with doing that and set a little bit more boundaries on my work schedule and realized that, hey, if I don't answer the phone at 11 o'clock at night, this deal isn't going to fall apart. And once I got that through my head and took a step back, I started organically meeting clients.
Wow.
So if I was out on a walk, I was meeting neighbors. If I was picking up a new hobby, I started taking up golf because where do all the rich, successful, retired people go? They go to these country clubs. And so when I started doing stuff like that, my numbers actually increased in sales because I was organically meeting people, which is, I think, it's definitely where I'd rather my business come from rather than sitting on the phones all day.
Absolutely. You always had some sort of confidence.
Yes.
Are you good at golf?
I am not terrible at golf. Now, I definitely think I could be better, but for someone who I just started playing in May, and it's nice because you're out there all day.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And it's just something to do.
That is really impressive and interesting that you're out there.
Yeah.
And I think it's also interesting that sometimes the things that we're going after and trying so hard to attain, if you take a step back and evaluate them, you found that those calls or that sort of prospecting was useful, but you've kind of set those boundaries, cared for yourself, and then naturally you've been getting as many prospects as you would have with the calls.
Yeah, and real estate is all rejection. I mean, 100 times a day I get rejected, and all it matters is that one or two that I don't.
Yeah.
And so I started thinking, how can I get rejected less? Well, no one likes being cold called, and sometimes you just get wrapped into it, and sometimes it would work, but a lot of times it wouldn't. A lot of times I'd be told to F off.
Yeah.
And so I started thinking about what other ways can I meet people to where I'm indirectly selling myself to them as a realtor, because I've had neighbors be loyal to realtors their whole life, and then they get to know me, and I'm not sitting there, hey, let me sell your house. I'm building the friendship, building the trust. And now I know the neighborhood better than the realtor they're loyal to.
Right.
And they have no choice but to use me sometimes. And so I've also got it instilled in my head where I'd rather be second than not in the running at all. So
absolutely.
Anytime I lose a listing or someone decides to go with a different agent, I'm still keeping them in the back of my head, because I can't tell you how many times someone's listed with someone else or said, no, my best friend's a realtor, and something goes south and I'm their next call.
That's awesome. I haven't heard that before about being, the runner-up and how to keep that going. That's
a lot of my sales, especially this year in a changing market, I saw a lot of them list with a realtor they've known or, they're friends with, and it's just not the market that you can call up your friend who has their real estate license and throw the iPhone photos on the MLS. Like it was such a challenging market this year that only people who do this full time and sell a lot of houses were able to navigate. And so I got calls probably about May or June, like, hey, I need your help. My last realtor isn't getting the job done.
Yeah. It's not as easy as it looks.
No, it is not.
Yeah. So what is something that you're currently blooming, either personally or professionally, that you're really excited about, a future goal or something that you're building currently and that you're hoping is planting the seed for something even more important to you?
That is a tough question. I might need to pause on this and think about it. I guess I could say I really have gotten into the investing side of real estate.
Okay.
When you get that money, a lot of realtors, just from me knowing them, they'll spend it and they'll live this lavish lifestyle.
Yes.
And they'll get the new car, they'll get the $1 million house, they'll get the designer bags, and then in a tough season, they look around and now they're in trouble.
Yes.
And so I've really, really focused in on putting my money to use when I'm not making a sale. So
that is so smart.
Yeah, so there will be months where I'm having 5 to 6 paychecks and I am on paper, wow, this is a huge month for me.
Yes.
And instead of going out and buying something, I put all of it away and I pretend like I never got a majority of it.
Wow. How did you learn to be so financially savvy?
Part of it is because I'm scared to death that I'm never going to sell another house, and that definitely goes away as you get more into the career. Like just today, I was like, wow, I have all these contracts, but where's this in my pipeline? And I got a call from someone who's like, hey, saw you on Facebook. I'm
awesome.
Looking to start at the house process. So it's just that, or I'd rather set myself up for the tough moments because they're gonna come. I mean, real estate is so rocky, and I've I mean, I've only been in it 2 years, and I've faced a lawsuit with
Oh my
against
gosh.
realtors, and I've faced where, you know, this market's changing and
It is.
sellers still want the top dollar when buyers aren't willing to pay that anymore.
Right.
So I've faced all this stuff,
Yeah.
and luckily I've been able to navigate it, but I always want to prepare for when there is a season that maybe I'm not selling 4 to 5 houses a month.
Yeah.
And so putting that into, I bought a rental property.
Oh, wow.
I've done a few flips. So
Wow.
like, putting my money somewhere else is definitely where I thrive.
And you think, I believe this, that homes and land is always, I don't want to say a safe bet, but kind of a wise investment.
I always think real estate is super wise. I mean, you could possibly go underwater 1 year, but if you're able to hang on, I mean, look what happened during COVID. Like,
Yes.
everyone's house prices doubled. And I mean, I'm already kind of seeing with these, just like the news of rates dropping, already a lot of buyers are out there ready to go. So I always think real estate is such a smart investment because you're paying into something where, hey, I might pay my mortgage down for 10 years, and then in 10 years I have this cash that I could do something with.
Absolutely.
And so it's always better than renting, always.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much for being here
Yeah, of
today.
course.
I have enjoyed your conversation, and I hope that we can have many more in the future.
Yeah. Thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. That is our conversation for today. I look forward to seeing you all next time. Thanks, guys.
Cut.
Chop.